starting well, and then it's gone. Let's see if it'll pick up again. Hello. Is anyone with us? Hello, hello, hello. Who's joining us? Say hi. Hello. Hello. I can't see anybody's notification or anybody's name or comments. Is anyone there? Yay, Theophilus! Good afternoon, Deborah. Good afternoon. Wow, finally, it took a while to get on. I don't know what happened. Yemi, good afternoon. Bukola, good afternoon. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is a celebration. Real celebration is starting. We're getting guests coming in, and I just can't wait to introduce you to our guests today. Guys, you know how DSA is. DSA is so transparent. He tells us everything. This week, you're going to get to know him even more because by extension, obviously, you know a lot of his story already, and he came from a family, a very unique family, and you're going to meet some of them. So, Idera, good afternoon. Bukola, good afternoon. Hope, how are you? Justin, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. As you're joining, guys, please share. I know this is midday in England, and in other countries, obviously, it's different time, different time zones as well. So I really do appreciate you for coming because usually we come in the evening, but because you're getting so many guests coming for this event, DSA Golden Jiggly, yeah. So we're getting so many people coming in. I can't do all the interview at once. It has to be one by one. So this is the first person. Other than, I've already done Pastor Derek, and Pastor Derek is a regular on DSA page. So we have a guest, somebody new for the first time on DSA page. So thank you again for joining. Thank you, Bukola. I would extend that happy birthday to Dr. Sunday. He's going to be watching. So he would say, thank God, good afternoon. Deborah, I said good afternoon, but good afternoon again. Yemi, good afternoon. So guys, please start to share and also invite friends and family. We're going to have fun. We are going to have fun with this wonderful, wonderful person. So I bet you're curious. Should I tell you who it is, or should I let the person introduce himself? Okay, I think I will do the honors by asking the person to introduce themselves. So guys, let's go.
Hello everybody.
Wow.
Hi, my name is Wole Banjoko, and I'm Pastor Sunday's cousin. Would be the best way to describe it, or else we have to go a long, in a long way and trying to describe exactly how we're connected. But let's just say I'm Pastor Sunday's cousin. So the name is Wole Banjoko, and I live in London.
Okay. Look at that. Pastor Sunday's cousin, Wole Banjoko is his name, and he lives in London. So guys, London people, where are you? Come in and support. We don't need any support, but just come in and join us so I get to know Pastor Sunday's cousin. So you will be getting to know quite a few of Pastor Sunday's family members in the next few days. But first person here right now is Wole Banjoko, and he's right here in front of me. So I'm just going to ask him a lot of questions about Pastor Sunday himself, their relationship. So you said, right, you don't want to go into the relationship or, cousin. You're just going to say your cousin. I'm actually interested. I think you should tell us all what cousin you are and your relationship.
Actually, I think if we really dig deep down, I'll be Pastor Sunday's uncle. I am a couple of years older than him. But as we all know, he's a lot wiser than a lot of us. So even though I am a senior brother, but I think I look to him just like everybody else for a lot of advice in life, a lot of guidance, because he has been given that gift, and which we are all benefiting from. And so that's one of the reasons why I felt it was important for me to be here on this 50th birthday celebration. I had promised him I would be. So now the world is now aware that he's my relative and a very close relative, which I cherish 100%.
Thank you, sir. Okay, the world is now aware he is my relative, a very close relative. Cherish. Wow, this is interesting. I know that I was in the illusion that it was only strangers and people from the internet, Facebook, online that cherish Dr. Sunday. I am very well aware that there will be other people that will do, but it's really nice to hear it live and direct from a relative, actually an uncle, of Dr. Sunday saying this. Not only is he older, he also said he's older, but look up to him just like we do. This is really interesting, sir. And now I think I'm seeing where Dr. Sunday gets some of his humble behaviors from. So tell us a little bit more about Dr. Sunday and your relationship.
I think we've been, I would say we've become closer in the past, probably since the time that he hasn't traveled, because I've visited him now. It's probably the third time. I've been here twice with my family. We have children of a similar age, so besides the connection of our blood relationship between myself and him, the children have also developed a very close relationship. I have two older children who are around the same age. I think Perez, Pastor Sunday's eldest son, falls right in between the two ages of my two boys. And I have a daughter who is, I think she's slightly younger than Pearl. So we have a lot more in common besides being blood relatives. But I think what I enjoy the most is the influence he's had over my life in many areas. Both, his wisdom, his explanation to details, his knowledge, his insight. I haven't seen or met too many people in my life that has had that gift. And also, I think what stands out, which we all know now, or which you have, if you haven't experienced, you will experience, is just his openness and his warmth to everybody. He doesn't, he's exactly, when you say what you see exactly what you see on the cover is what you get. There's nothing fake about him. Everything is real. And I think what happens, what I notice is like he speaks what you're thinking in your mind. He says it out freely, and I think that's one of the most fantastic gifts about him.
Thank you. So, right, we are not the only one feeling so amused, well, not abused, but intrigued by Dr. Sunday. To hear a family member, relative, say these things is quite interesting to me. That Dr. Sunday says exactly, I think we've experienced it. A lot of the people here online, we've experienced it, that it is what you see or what you say, what he says is exactly who he is. So it's not one thing in the public and another privately. It's exactly the same. And each time it's a new gift. You see new things about him, and that amazes you. So what Mr. Banjoko is saying is really interesting to me to hear it right from him. The similarities with the children, and having children of the same age group, again, interesting. And also their relationship. Since the highlight of this relationship, I think yesterday's interview and just this now, the highlight of this relationship actually evolved, or maybe evolved when he stopped traveling. As soon as he stopped traveling, so this is another positive thing out of his bad situation. So if you didn't watch yesterday's interview with Dr. Sunday, this is another reason to watch it. It was really interesting. So check it out. It was yesterday's evening's interview. So let's continue. Dr. Sunday is going to be 50 in a couple of days. What are your thoughts on that? You've already told us your age. Well, not your age, that you're older than him. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on him turning 50?
Well, I think for a young man, you know how we always say in Nigeria when somebody's young is a young man, he's done incredibly well. I'm saying that young man in a jokingly way, but I think Dr. Sunday is very impressive. I mean, he's impressed his personality on the world. He's impressed in all of us the ability to be stronger in life. He's given us the tools that is necessary for you to succeed in life. He's given us tools that, if you apply them, will benefit you in every area of your life. I haven't met too many people in my life that have that level of wisdom. I think actually for me, I was thinking about this interview when I was told I was going to have an interview. I was thinking last night, I said to myself, you know what? If you were to think of 6 people, or I'll say I have 6 people in my life that I think has influenced my life greatly in terms of men. And I counted as my father, my father-in-law. I have a friend who is from the Middle East, from Saudi Arabia. I have another Nigerian friend in the U.S., Pastor Sunday, and the 6th person that's come off my mind. And I think all of them have influenced my life in different ways. But to have to be able to count him as one of the people that have highly influenced my life, for me is it's a great thing it's a great thing for me, because I think the knowledge that you still get from him on a daily basis. I mean, for somebody that has applied his whole life to making people better, or making countries better, or making situations better, or making life better, you don't get too many people. You don't get too many chances to meet people like that, and to actually have him be a blood relative. I think I just thank God that I am worthy to be considered family, beyond the family of DSA, also a family in terms of a blood relationship.
Wow. Okay. I really love these interviews when you meet people that knows other people personally, not just as a public figure or as somebody that is seen from afar, and that person saying that this person influenced their life. And you can tell from Mr. Banjoko's countenance and what he's saying, only 6 people that's influenced his life, which for me it's a big
6
thing.
men.
Oh, well, 6 men. Okay, it's just specified 6 men, and of those 6 men, Dr. Sunday is one of them. But what is more significant for me is that I always say this, actually, and I think I've said it to Dr. Sunday as well, that I don't know why so many men don't actually follow Dr. Sunday. I find it quite challenging, because I know that I have spoken to a lot of men and they just kind of like shrug it off, maybe because it's another man and he's a young man, that I felt like they would benefit from him, having a relationship with him. But hearing Mr. Banjoko saying this right now, again, for me, I find it quite humbling to hear another man, older man, just family relative, being able to openly say this about another man and a family member. I find it very interesting, and I think that it would be nice if we hear a little bit more about their relationship. He talked about Dr. Sunday's wisdom I think we all very familiar with that. But I would like you to just talk about his age and also a personal relationship, the personal relationship that you have with him, how over the years, and how he's evolved, and you as well. Maybe the examples that you can give us.
Yes, I think I just said I had 6 men that I believe influenced my life greatly. I think I mentioned my father, my father-in-law, a friend in Saudi Arabia, a friend in the U.S., a Nigerian friend in the U.S., Pastor Sunday Adelaja, and the 6th person that I omitted was my late brother, one of my late brothers. I just lost, as I'm sitting here, I lost my immediately older brother 3 weeks ago, today, in the U.S. He died of cancer. So I think that's why I omitted him before, but it came to me. So I'm sitting here, I am supposed to be in the period of mourning. But yet, because of part of the reading or teaching and understanding of what Pastor Sunday has taught or is teaching, I have strength, even though it is a very difficult period. Because the person that I lost 3 weeks ago has probably been the closest human being to me ever. I think I shared this with Maiwa earlier, because he's 2 years older than me, but unfortunately, the Lord called him 3 weeks ago. We have just buried him, and yet there's still strength in that. So I think part of the teachings of, when you understand or you listen to what he's teaching, which is, he's not teaching anything that is, he's not teaching, he's not inventing what he's teaching. He's basically just teaching what the Bible teaches us, better understanding of the of the Bible, trying to make us understand what Jesus wants us to do. And he lives it with his own lifestyle. He lives it with his teaching. He lives it in terms of his ability to absorb the information that's needed, and also have the ability to be able to transfer it to us, whereby we can now grasp it and run with it. So I think that is, for me, is probably the best relationship, which is probably similar to what most of you have with him as well. But luckily for me, I have a little more inside relationship because of the blood connection. But he's just a lovely man. 50, we thank God he's 50. I pray to God that we'll be able to continue to cherish and learn from him for many, many more years to come. I pray that, even part of his heart, his own personal heart's desires come to fruition in a short period of time. I think the world has been given a gift in Pastor Sunday. We have benefited from it. I think obviously a lot of people have benefited from it. But I think the potential, he himself knows that he hasn't even tapped at the potential or the opportunity. It is very rare that you find a human being. I'm in the hospitality industry. Hospitality means you want to put people in an environment whereby you make them feel as comfortable as possible. Pastor Sunday does that with you when he's on screen, when he's live. He himself, I remember yesterday, when I got in yesterday from London, and I was part of the interview, or I was sitting here when the interview was when the question was asked, how do you deal with bad moments? And I was sitting there looking at this man. He was explaining it, and I think obviously there was a few descriptions whereby he says it gets inside your brain and then even tweaks it whereby it makes you understand. You can't even imagine what comes out of his mouth. So just as he affects everybody in that way, the same way he affects me, he's just gifted. And I think it's a matter of, not everybody has gifts, but I guess the ability for somebody to now develop that gift whereby you can reach people on so many different counts, and also be able to actually influence other people, find somebody and say, look, okay, you have this, and actually give you an opportunity for you to nurture that gift, or give you what the tools that's needed for you to be able to work that gift so that what God has given you can come to fruition. I think I haven't met another human being that's been able to do that, which it looks like it's ease, but obviously it's something that he has worked on in himself because everybody has the same feeling. You don't get too many chances to do that. I mean, I train people in hospitality, and so I think I understand what level of work that it takes to do that. But even if you train people, you only find one or two people that are going to stand out. They're going to be outstanding it. He has the ability of everybody. You warm up to him, and then he gives you. You just feel like if you need to, hey, I'm not doing enough. I need to get it done. I need to get it done, because he himself, he labors all the time. I mean, he doesn't relax. Well, he relaxes, but he doesn't. He's giving all the time of himself, of his time, of his knowledge. That is a very special human being. I think the world has really, I'm lucky that I can be a part of, to celebrate with him and know him. And I think the world really, we should all consider ourselves lucky for a man of wisdom that comes in, that's ready to bless us all, or teach us how to live better. I think that's probably the best way to live a better life. Better, fuller, richer life.
Thank you very much, sir. That was really interesting to hear, actually, in terms of what you said. I think yesterday's interview was interesting, but the account that you gave just now, that Dr. Sonne has this ability to actually make everyone, doesn't matter what level of understanding that you are, to understand what he's trying to say, what he's saying to us, and to be able to affirm our own values through what he's saying. From yesterday's interview, I think I read a comment saying that, right, I get it, like it's almost like a surgery. I think I said that as well, where somebody opened my brain to explain this to me to understand. But it's really, I know I keep saying this, that it's really interesting hearing from a family member, because we take it for granted that Dr. Sonne is a public figure, so it has to be this way. But to hear, I know we've heard his children say wonderful things about him, but also hear a family member, even though we don't live in Ukraine, talked about your relationship, this impact on your life, especially with your brother, which, I'm really sorry. I will read some comments. There's some condolences online that I will read to you. Your brother and the impact of his teaching on you, to help you to deal with this situation. So that was a very good example, because at some point, everyone in life, we would deal with some grievance, or, well, not grievance, or what's the right word?
Grief.
Not grievance, not that you're unhappy about somebody, but grief of this sort. And even we will experience death ourselves. So this is really interesting. But before I go to my next question, which is going to be about his teaching, one of his teaching, I know you've explained this one, which is good, but like one of his teaching, or through your relationship with him, that really impact your life, that really turn it around, like changed your life. I would like you to tell us about that. But before I do, I just want to read a few of your comments, the comments online, because also I have your wife online saying, "Hello DSA family, hello husband," with a big heart, and husband Wole. So she's like showing herself. So Miss Roslyn, we know you're there. Amaka Shade Banjoko, that's her, right?
That's it.
Yes. So she's here. So I have passed on your message. You can hear me. Yes, your husband is smiling right now while I'm saying your name. That's my wife, he said. That's her. So let me read some of the comments so that you can hear what people are saying. Patty said, "So sorry to hear that, Wole. That's about your brother, I believe." Also, Darlene says, "Oh no, very sorry about that." And then we have your wife. I've read that already. "Good afternoon." That's Patty. Good afternoon, Patty. How are you? So we have a lot of so sorry. Okay, somebody else says nice here. Reverend Ronti, shalom. Okay, this is another message from somebody. Okay, it's about me. So it's just a lot of so sorry to hear what's happened. But he's in good spirits, despite everything that's happened. So my question is, you've mentioned is teaching helping you, so I think it's good to use that as a follow-up, which is that what teaching specifically helped you, Dr. Sunday's teaching, that apart from this particular one, which one has really changed your life?
I think there's so much there's so many areas that he has taught on that I listen to. I mean, sometimes I'm sitting there in London and just tuned in just like everybody else. You know, I'm at work, I'm at home, I'm in my bedroom, and you know, and I sit there and I was like, how did this human being come about? I think part of the ones that I would probably hold on to is I know there's sometimes that I even call in and I ask questions. You know, when somebody's asked the question time, and I remember a particular time that I called in and I had a specific question to ask. I was one of the people, and the question was read out. I won't go into detail of the question now, but I needed just to, you know. Sometimes, you know, I think even for me, I want to test this man. You know, I want to see, okay, is he for real? You know, I want to test him. I said, you know what, okay, I'll ask this question. And the way he answered the question was, it's how you feel that a man of God should answer a question, because it was a heavy question. It was actually in relation to something, so it's a close friend that an incident had happened, and it became public. It is actually one of the same person that I just asked you that, you know, you said you know them on your Facebook page. So because I know this is something that I've known for a long time, and I was a little bit thrown aback of that incident, and I actually called in on the question. I said, if you have an old friend and you just heard something like that happen, how should you treat them? And I think Pastor Sunday's position is always from a position of love. Do you understand? Yes. It wasn't that, I mean, I think even for me, I think most of the decisions I make, like some of the heavy things that's happened even within my family in the past couple of weeks, some decisions have to be made. I look at it and say, you know what, always make the decisions from a position of love. Sometimes when you make those decisions, it might not necessarily get the reaction that you want, but as long as you have that peace and you are making those decisions from that position, then I think that's what God has created you to be, you know, as long as you know. Do you understand? Yeah. So I think, so that is part of one of the things that, because like I said, I test him as well, you know, just like, hey, let me see, you know, this human being, this man that is so wise and all that kind of stuff. Because he sits there and then, you know, and obviously you ask Pastor Sunday one question, he's going to give you like 10 different examples. And you're wondering where he's digging it out of. But that is him. That is his reality. You know, he's absorbing also. I think that is part of it, is that position of understanding, you know, everything from a position of love, because that's how he is. His laughter, you know, his personality, I mean, it just rubs off on you, you know. I am one of those people that, I mean, I remember just like yesterday, I think one of my old boarding school friends was asking me, he saw my Facebook picture and he says, Wole, do you ever smile? I said, I smile internally. I'm not too much about openly smiling. I kind of smile internally. My face might look hard, but I'm much softer than I appear. But I think that's what it is. Just one of those positions of, you know, I think he radiates that, you know. It's that, you know, you see him and you want to be like him in certain respect in terms of, you know, whatever it is. I think that's one of the biggest teachings I think I can say I've gotten from him. Yeah. So far. Yeah. So far.
Very wise man yourself, because you know that, you know, he's full of surprises in terms of what he comes up with. It's never anything that you would expect from his answers. So this again, it's really an interesting account, because sometimes I felt that it was just me that wants to test him to make sure. So I'm really glad that you said this. I'm really, really pleased, because I think I do. I wonder if other people do. So it's really great that you do. I want to test him that, is you for real? For you to even say that, to say to us right here now, that you wonder if it's for real. You know, that means a lot. That says a lot about him and also about you. for me, I always say that. I always say to myself that, is this guy for real? Is he really human, or
Is he from outer space?
Yeah, or is he, how can he even think this? How can he even think this way? But one significant thing that you just said here, and operating from the level of love, that is all it is. His operation, his mindset, his behavior, mannerism, everything is from a position of love. And I always wonder how he acquired that love. He's explaining to us in these questions about, the love that Jesus had for him, the love God has for him, and he wants to just imitate what Jesus is doing, and just being that, knowing what God has done for him and also forgiving him and what he's still doing. But we all have the same chances and the same mind, the same opportunity. What, in your opinion, I know this is kind of like a bit off base in terms of questioning of this sort, but I always wonder, the reason I'm asking this question is because you're thinking in a way that I don't even think anyone else is thinking, in terms of testing him, and you're a relative. So what is it about him that you observe that we maybe don't have, that maybe we could acquire?
I think I don't think there's anything that he has that we don't have. I think what it is he's just been able to develop it, whereby that's why he's teaching us. That's why, one of the things that I notice about him is, he's always, he's always, number one, is absorbing information, as much as possible. You can see that with him. You can see that with his children. You can see that there's so much information out there, and the willingness to be able to spend the time to be able to, there's information out there, but you have to spend the time to absorb it and impact it into your life. For me, I'll use myself as an example. I said part of the person that has made me who I am is part of my past experiences. I think we all have the ability for you to use, just like I think yesterday he used the example, all what you might think would be bad can have a positive aspect as well. I have gained strength in a lot of stuff that has happened within the family. That is probably why I'm standing strong now. Because, and then with the teachings that says, with the teachings of Pastor Sunday, so even all the strength that you gain, but if you don't apply the teachings to your life, you will still be lost in the old way. But part of his teachings of just trying to keep you positive, keep you upbeat, keep you going, keep you that you can do all things, you can, you have the strength, God is with you, all that kind of stuff. I think that is all part of what makes me be able to stand here, even though at a difficult, quote unquote, difficult time for the world, and just say, look, I'm fine. I've lost somebody that is the closest human being to me because my parents died when we were much younger, and, but he's gone, he's done his thing. But part of it is like, I think what it also teaches us is like, which Pastor Sunday teaches you, is like, we're all here for a purpose. Find your purpose, nurture that purpose, grow that purpose. God has sent you here for a reason. Find that reason. He's giving us the tools and everything to help you find that, and just work that tool, work that gift. You understand? There's not too many, just not too many. I've never met anybody that has been able to do that. And also, somebody that is, when you're talking to him or when you're listening to him, it's not like he's inventing it from anywhere. He's pouring out his heart. You don't get too many people that say that on camera and say, to the world, I'm talking now, but I'm already tired. But this man does it on a, like yesterday when he was talking about, almost 15 years worth of Sunday service has been broadcasted in 8 months. Sometimes when I watch him when he was doing the live broadcast, like, dude, when are you going to get some sleep? Do you understand? I'm like that, So for somebody who is so loving of God that wants to pour out and just empty himself every single time, I've just never met a human being like that. I've never met a human being like that. And obviously, he told us yesterday, part of what has opened him up or has made him go deeper in himself is the fact that he hasn't been able to travel. but yet the world is coming to him. And now he's even reaching the world even beyond what he was reaching before. That's God. That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. Number one, even what the ability or what the gift that God has been able to use for him to use to impact this society. I don't know any history. Have you ever heard of anything like that? No. I haven't. Do you understand? So we are lucky. I think what the world needs to do is just to spread the word, let more people know. Some of his things, I call him my naughty pastor, because I think some of the things that he says, they're so true, but most of us would want to no, I don't want to say it, but he'll say that right out. That is a gift. There's not too many human beings that will tell you the truth straight after play, even though he doesn't sugarcoat things. I think that's what it is. He just says it out, as it is, and he just brings it out there. So that's a gift. It's a very powerful gift. So I am just happy that I am able to be here to celebrate with him in this 50th birthday.
Thank you very much. Wow. Okay, this again. What Mr. Banjoko is saying, it's really almost like a confirmation of what I already know, and also you guys, you definitely know. That's why you come back to this channel or this page, and when you get notification, you come back time and time. So thank you for that, by the way. But again, I'm really amused by the fact that it's coming from a man, a relative as well, that actually sees this. So it's not just outsiders that we're seeing him from afar. This is a family member. You're having some people sending love to you. I have Moji here saying hello. Somebody said hello, uncle, as well. She's saying hello to you. So it's really interesting. But when I asked this question, I wasn't also expecting what you said when I asked if what is it about him that make him able to do this and that we don't have, that maybe we can learn. And I find it really fascinating that you said we all have it. And this is exactly what Dr. Sunday says to us as well, that we all have it. And you also observe that he developed it in himself. So I'm glad that you said that we all have this gift or this ability, but you also mentioned that he also has a gift. So having the ability and not being able to be at this level, again, is something that maybe we individually need to address ourselves. But it's interesting that we have this gift, but we're not using it like Dr. Sunday. We're not cultivating it or developing it like Dr. Sunday. So I just thought maybe there would be some sort of insight that he would have, because I really want to develop it, and I think other people too want to develop it. You mentioned about your background, your experiences that has made you who you are, and his experience and how he's turned his experience around. I'm holding on to the fact that we all have this ability, but what is it about him or us that is different, that apart from the development, is it just the development, or is it the development, or is it the gift? I don't want to box you, but I just want to kind of get an understanding, because I see that you have depth of understanding as well, and I see you as somebody that has insight, because you're relative, you also have blood relative. So you have something that, again, a lot of us don't have, which is the blood relative. But do you have any other kind of insight that you could give us?
I don't think I have any more insight in than anybody else whatever you've noticed about Pastor is what he is. I think what it is just that you have to decide within yourself, within your life experiences, is it going to crush you or is it going to build you? I think that those are something that every human being has the ability to make that decision on. Pastor Sunday has talked about his background, how he was raised, from the village. I didn't come from that background. I'm from the opposite side of that background, but he's my family. But yet, I look up to him, like I said, like more than any other human being alive at this point, because he is a blood relative. But so I think that's what. So you have to decide. Look on what your past experience is. But the only thing is this: I think we're all here. God has sent everybody here for a mission. It is very easy. The easiest thing is to escape or to say, okay, I give up or whatever it is. But I think the opportunity is there for every one of us to stand firm, no matter what your background is, no matter how bad things are. You always have to look that the sun is always going to shine. It's always going to shine the way it is. And I think that's the way I look at it, because I look at Pastor Sunday's life, I look at my experience. A lot of people can focus on some of the things that has happened within my family and say whatever it is, because we've lost a number of people in the family. But for me, it is not that you've lost people in the family. It's like when they were here, were they able to accomplish the task? Number two, did they influence people around them positively before they left? Number three, even though, like I told you guys, I've lost a brother now recently, and he was given a year and a half to live when they discovered that he had cancer. We didn't tell the world. He was given 10% chance of survival. But even though he has passed on, we had time to be able to discuss. We had time to be able to finish up. So I can either look at it as if I've lost a brother and be upset with the world, or I can look at it and say, look, I've lost a brother, but God gave me a year and a half to get to know him better, a year and a half to tidy up, a year and a half to discuss with him, a year and a half for him to tidy up. A lot of us lose people at some point in time, but you don't have that. Did I say what I needed to say to him? Did I do that? So I have this peace based on the fact that you had that opportunity to be able to do that. And that's the same way you have to look at life. No matter what has happened, no matter how negative it is, we always find a position of strength. Like God says, he will not give you anything that you cannot handle. That is a powerful statement. If we believe in this God, no matter how bad things will get bad. It's not, because you're a Christian or whatever it is now, the whole world is going to be perfect. It doesn't work that way. Just like Pastor Sunday says, if it was just like Christian nations were doing well, and then all the ones that quote unquote did not believe in Christ are not doing well, then but he teaches us, every single thing is going to work, whether you believe or you don't believe, whether he believes or he doesn't believe. What you have to do is you have to do the work yourself. You have to, improve yourself. You have to, do the positive thing to still glorify the Lord that we believe in. So I think one of the things that I will always hold on to is the fact that he's a positive human being. I don't want to go too much into the family matters because this is his time. This time to celebrate this gift that God has given mankind, a man that is looking to raise millions of people to say, hey, get up and go, get your behind up and move. You have everything, all the tools available to you. He's shown us. I mean, when he talks about his background, when he talks about where he comes from, when he talks about, and we all say what is happening with him is unheard of. And I think this is he's just scratching the surface. Yeah. I don't think this is scratching the surface. He says a lot of things but when you research what he says, he's speaking from a position of truth. He's gone through it. Like yesterday when he talked about himself in his own ministry, and he talks about what's going wrong. He's not hiding behind anything. He's saying, look, I have been there. I have sinned there. I am telling you, even I make mistakes. So I think we'll have to accept the fact that as human beings, we're going to make mistakes. But what it is the position that how do you from that mistake get up and go and say, stand firm and say, look, this is, okay, I made a mistake. I put my hands up. I made a mistake. But this is the mistake that I made. Because yesterday I heard him, saying, look, God, it's like he himself was confessing and saying, but you also have the opportunity to do that. But you also have the ability to grow from that, which is what he's saying us. And I think that's what he's telling us, and that's what we should all listen to.
Wow. This is absolutely music to my ears. One of the first things that you said that I've observed again is in terms of Dr. Sunday's teaching, and you said earlier about practicing what he teaches. But also with the experience, your experience in life, and the way that you handle life, or you took his teaching on board, or how you apply your experience in life. It's quite significant to, your ability now to sit here and also learn from him. So what this is telling me basically is that we all have that responsibility. We have the onus to make sure that we achieve our purpose in life, make sure that what we hear, we can actually assess what we're hearing. Maybe you mentioned the word investigate. When you look at it, when you research those things, you research that they're truth. So it's your ability as an individual as well to do those things. It's important, it's vital. It's not just hearing, but also applying, being able to apply what you're hearing. And you were not here a few days ago. There was something that you weren't here. I don't know if you watched. Were you watching our live programs?
I watched some of it. Which particular topic was it?
Because there's quite a few things that you've said that is just similar to exactly what you know.
Well, that means my teacher is teaching me properly.
Yeah, because in terms of the good and the bad in life, using both. I don't know if you watched that about energy and in life, even good things. Even bad things in life, they work together for good, and then you mention it now.
Okay.
Even the bad things working together for good. So it's really interesting.
Yeah. I would agree with that wholeheartedly, because I'll tell you why. If you look at Pastor Sunday's life history in the beginning, you'd have thought, okay, the uncle's passing on, the situation with his mom being raised by his grandmother. In quote unquote the world that we live in, that is bad. Yes? Yeah. But look at him now. He still talks about it, but that is part of that God used to build him to the person that he is today. If I look at my situation, my mom died early, my father died early, I've lost a few brothers, I've lost a sister, you can say, okay, that is bad. But again, I use that energy to do the good things in life, or to find a good position, a good placement for yourself. So that's what I'm saying, that we all have issues in the past. But don't focus on that as being something that is a stumbling block. Do you understand? Use that energy, use that history, use that past as a way to find a future, or to build a future for yourself. I mean, we only met between yesterday and today. I had a little inkling of your story because I saw when you came to Ukraine. I saw it live at that time as well. But again, we all have a history, but you're using what it is that you've gained, knowledge you gained, to advance yourself, your understanding, find a position of happiness, a place of happiness. I think that's what life is all about. I think that's what the growth of life is all about. No matter where you're coming from, no matter what the position is, where you're starting from, we all have an opportunity to grow. That is what he teaches. That is what his principles are. He has gone around the gamut. He's done a bunch of it for him to find that position. So like he said yesterday, obviously being here, that freeze, when you thought he was at the hype of his old preaching, that's when he now looks back on and says, wow, that is actually not the height. This is now, you reach a different level. And there's not too many people that wouldn't admit that to you. They'll just, even when we talk about Pastor Sunday, we'll probably same thing. Somebody asked me, I don't boast around about too much of, that he's my blood relative, but because there's no need to. When you talk about, when you talk about him, reaching that, what we all look at as, wow, this man has done this, has done that. But he himself admits, he said, look, that is not it. That is not it. He is getting closer to what he wants to do, or what his purpose is now, than when he preached in front of the UN, or when he preached in front of the Congress, or when he preached in Israel, or all that kind of stuff. He's getting closer to what his vision is the purpose that God has called him to do is coming to more in fruition because of what happened, whereby he's not been able to move out. And I think that's what we all need to do. We all need to sit back, reflect on your life, look at where you are at the point in time, look at what it is that you want to do, and look at how do you redirect, restructure your life, and then that God's purpose for your life will come about. That's what, I mean, when you look at him, when you listen to him, that's what he teaches us. There's nothing artificial. Everything is there for you to investigate yourself. He doesn't say anything that is outside the ordinary. It's basically everything that you can research yourself and move on. I think that is, for me, that is one of the biggest gifts that any human being can have.
Wow. Thank you so much. This has been insightful. What I wanted to say as well is that, okay, first of all, recap of this, guys, is that purpose is important. You're hearing it from somebody else as well now, even though it's a blood relative of Dr. Sunday. Purpose is important. And also our responsibility to use our experience for the positive, to make it, to turn it around for our own good, to turn it around to propel our purpose. I think that's what I'm hearing here. So if you have other understanding, that's good, but that understanding should be centered around your purpose. So not any ensuring that you know that whenever anything happens to you, good or bad, they all work together for your own good, and it should be towards your purpose in life. So identifying purpose is really key here again. But one thing that you said earlier that I really wanted to point out was that you were not here when Dr. Sunday was saying, somebody asked a question about his achievements now, and he's saying that he hasn't even achieved much. Did you watch that program? Because you're saying again,
no,
which I'm really finding very intriguing, that you're saying again that you don't even think that it scratched the surface.
I don't think so.
Because you mentioned that twice.
Yeah, I don't believe so, because I think I was tuning in when the whole live broadcast thing was going on as much as I could, and I was tuning in. I mean, and I was saying, number one, where does he get the level of energy? I mean, there's one thing in life. You don't have too many people you have people that will start something and give up and say, I'm done. Do you understand? But when you have somebody that, I mean, you know how does life, sometimes it'll be an hour show, he'll be there for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and information will still be popping out of his head. And I'm looking at this man, I'm saying, I try to exercise, do you understand? But even with all the exercise and all that kind of stuff, I've never seen a human being that can do that. The energy, and he'll still have the same vigor that he had when he started at the end of a 3 or 4 hour lecture. How do you do that? Do you understand? Those are the kind of things that impress me, because it's not, in anything that you do, if you owned a company and you had a staff that had that kind of mindset of Pastor Sunday, you better pay that person double, because you just don't get that human beings that give you that kind of energy, that kind of commitment, that kind of dedication. That is very rare to find. And then somebody who has it and is willing to share it with the world, come on. Come on.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. I have so much questions to ask you. I just want to move on to a little bit more fun before we close. Do you know or remember him as a child or as a teenager? Do you remember Dr. Sunday at all?
I do remember him, but I'll tell you my story. Because I left Nigeria in 1975, and I've lived in Nigeria. I've lived outside of Nigeria probably since 1975. I moved back a couple of times. So Pastor Sunday was raised in the village, which I think he has said many times. I used to visit the village, holidays in the week. When my dad was still alive, we'll go on the weekends or Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't like if we spent too much time together as a child, because like I said, I lived in England and he was in Nigeria, I think. But that's why I'm saying that we reconnected more since the time that he hasn't been able to travel, because that was when that I came to Ukraine to come and visit him, and that's what. That's really how the connection kind of blossomed more, because we were miles apart in terms of where we were raised. And I know he came to Russia 30-something years ago. But at that time, I was in the US. So it's only really more blossomed in the past eight years, more than when we were as infants.
Thank you. I just thought I asked that because of you guys, how it was as a child or as a teenager. So it's really been interesting. So this final question is just your own, birthday, Golden Jubilee message to Dr. Sunday. Just, whatever you want to say. You've said a lot of things, and I think, with wisdom, and a word is enough for the wise, but I know that you might have a personal message that you just want to share or just give right here. It would be nice. Why not?
Oh, Pastor Sunday. Well, personal message. Now, where do I start from? I am just blown away by you as a person. I'm blown away by your energy. I'm blown away by your love for mankind. I'm blown away by your drive. Like I told you, which will keep telling you, when that time comes, we're doing it together. Because I think what you have planned for the world is unheard of. But even though it's unheard of, the energy and the dedication that you have put into it to make it happen, the organization has already taken place. You just don't get too many people that want to change the world like that. And for that, it is a stage even for me that it excites me. It excites me in the fact that very few people just really want to make life better for others. You want to make it better for them in their spiritual life. You want to make it better for them in their regular daily, living. You don't want them to be trapped behind something that they're doing that doesn't improve their destiny or what the purpose for the God. It's just you're an awesome human being. I think if that's I don't know what other word to use for you. I thank God for this 50 years so far. I pray to God that He will continue to enrich you, give you the strength. You continue to grow in strength by strength. That as we're talking now at 50, that we'll still be talking in our 80s and our 90s about the impactation that God has used you to influence on the world. And well done, my brother. Well done.
Wow. Thank you very, very much. If you don't know what Mr. Bankole is talking about, Banjoko is talking about is the Nigerian Transformation Project, when he's mentioned about the plan and we're doing it together. So we're all in it together. Am I correct, sir?
We're in it together.
Yes.
In it.
So he said
we're in it to win it.
Yes, we're in it to win it. So guys, that's about the Nigerian Transformation Project. If you don't know about the Nigerian Transformation Project already, please go on Dr. Sunday Adelaja's blog, which is sundayadelajablog.com, then /Nigeria. You would get all the information that you need to know on Nigerian Transformation. Thing is, again, I just want to thank you for this. You know that it's his birthday, Dr. Sunday's Golden Jubilee. I'm really excited about it, guys. You know what? You can see that my eyes lit up when I just remember that we're partying over this weekend. I don't know. I'm not even really like a party person that goes out to party. But I'm so excited. I cannot keep calm. So guys, already, I'm looking forward to it. And you guys, please, bear with us this time because you will be bombarded with lots that is happening here. So I will do everything that I can to show you everything that is happening here. So brace yourself. If you're not here, you will be here by the time I'm done with this. So thank you again for joining us. Please don't forget, and Mr. B, I would say Banjoko is Banjoko. No, call it Banjoko. I'm going to turn the camera to him. He's going to have the final words. But I just want to thank you and remind you that today we're back again from 7 p.m. Ukraine time, and then later at 9 p.m. Ukraine time, again with Dr. Sunday both times. Please join us. We'd love to join. Today is going to be Dr. Sunday and Pastor Derek together. Son and father. It is going to be an amazing time at 7 p.m. and later with me. But before we go, please, I'm going to switch it back to
Doctor? Wow, I'm getting a degree already. That's good.
Doctor here. Because everyone is doctor here in Ukraine. But I'm going to turn it back to Mr. Banjoko to have the final words. But again, I want to thank you. Please share this video and also invite your friends next time we're coming. So thank you and peace out from me for Odin, for Mr. Banjoko.
No, what I just want to say is, Mayowa, thank you for the interview. I wasn't here for the HMT and the anniversary, but I think you sold us what was going on very well. I think it made us, everybody around the world, feel a part of the celebration. You know, we actually all wanted, even between my wife and my children, we all, from your feed, we all felt like if we made a mistake by not coming at that time. So I just wanted to thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for what you've just done now with my interview. And then thank you for what we are going to do for Pastor Sunday's 50th birthday. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.